General of the Armies. General of the Armies is the Army's highest rank, awarded only in the most extraordinary circumstances. Only one man, General John J. Pershing, held it while alive after World War I, symbolizing supreme military authority. This rank matters because it gives a single leader unmatched command. One directive at this level can alter the course of a war. General of the Army. Five-star general rank used only in wartime. For example, General Dwight D. Eisenhower became a five-star general of the Army in World War II, commanding Allied forces in Europe. Only 5 Army officers ever attained five-star rank, all during or just after World War II. At this rank, decisions affect entire theaters. A five-star general's strategy can determine victory or defeat in a global conflict. General. 4-star is the highest permanent rank in the Army, typically commanding the entire Army or major combat commands. These 4-star generals usually have over 30 years of experience and serve as top military strategists and advisors. For instance, a 4-star general might lead a combatant command or serve as Army Chief of Staff, directing hundreds of thousands of soldiers. A 4-star general's orders shape national military strategy. Their judgment can decide the fate of major operations and the lives of tens of thousands of troops. Lieutenant General. 3-star usually commands a corps, multiple divisions, around 20,000 to 40,000 soldiers, or serves in high-level Pentagon roles. With over 30 years in uniform, a lieutenant general translates broad strategy into operational plans across large forces. In battle, a lieutenant general could lead all Army forces in a region, for instance, overseeing a multi-division offensive in a war zone. Their decisions sway the outcome of campaigns. A well-led corps can hasten victory, while poor leadership can bog down a war. Major General. A 2-star typically commands a division or directs large organizations. Major generals manage large-scale combat operations, directing multiple brigades and support units in battle effectively. For example, a major general might lead the 82nd Airborne Division in combat, coordinating its brigades in a major battle. This rank matters because division-level victories often decide wars. A major general's leadership can win key battles, whereas failure at this level can jeopardize an entire campaign. Brigadier General. 1-star normally commands a brigade or serves as a deputy commander of a division. This rank marks an officer's entry into the General Officer Corps, where they begin overseeing multi-battalion operations. For example, a brigadier general might command a brigade combat team on deployment, leading its battalions through complex missions. At this rank, leadership connects strategy to the front lines. A 1-star general's direction can determine whether thousands of troops accomplish their mission or falter. Colonel. A senior field officer rank, often commanding a brigade or regiment. Besides field command, colonels also hold senior staff positions or lead important schools and installations. A colonel might lead a brigade combat team in combat, integrating infantry, armor, artillery, and engineers toward a common objective. The colonel's decisions directly drive a brigade's success. Effective leadership at this level can turn the tide of local battles, while poor choices can imperil the mission and many lives. Lieutenant Colonel. Lieutenant typically commands a battalion. Some lieutenant colonels serve as executive officers of brigades or in high-level staff positions. In Vietnam, a lieutenant colonel's leadership at Ia Drang saved his surrounded battalion from destruction, exemplifying the pressure of this rank. The stakes are high. A battalion commander's tactics and decisions can mean victory or heavy loss for hundreds of soldiers on the battlefield. Major. It is a mid-level officer often serving as a primary staff officer for a brigade or division. By this point, most majors have around a decade of service, giving them a deep understanding of their branch. A major acts as an operations, intelligence, or logistics officer, planning missions and coordinating support so the commander's intent becomes reality. This rank matters because majors turn strategy into action. They are the problem solvers behind the scenes. If they plan and support well, missions run smoothly. If they fail, even a good unit can stumble due to poor planning or mismanaged resources. Captain. The captain typically commands a company of about 100 to 200 soldiers. A captain leads their company in training and combat, for example, maneuvering 3 platoons in a coordinated assault or defense. The captain's leadership is crucial on the ground. A good captain makes quick, tactical decisions that can save lives and accomplish the mission. whereas a bad call at this level can put an entire company at risk. First lieutenant. It is a junior officer, often the executive officer of a company. First lieutenants typically earn this rank after 18 to 24 months as a second lieutenant. They handle logistics and administration. For example, a first lieutenant ensures a 150-soldier company has ammunition, supplies, and an evacuation plan ready for the captain's orders. This rank matters because a first lieutenant keeps the unit running smoothly, always ready under stress. If they falter, the company can suffer disorganization or shortages that hinder its effectiveness. Second lieutenant. It is the entry-level officer rank, usually leading a platoon of roughly 20 to 40 soldiers under a seasoned platoon sergeant's guidance. Most second lieutenants are commissioned through ROTC, Officer Candidate School, or West Point, and arrive eager to prove themselves. A second lieutenant learns to lead by doing, for instance, commanding an infantry platoon on patrol and making on-the-spot decisions with input from the platoon sergeant. Though inexperienced, this rank carries significant responsibility. A platoon's success and safety depend on the lieutenant's judgment. A good second lieutenant listens to experienced NCOs and makes sound decisions, keeping the platoon effective and united. Chief Warrant Officer 5. It is the top warrant officer rank. CW5S are extremely rare and are truly considered the Army's foremost authorities in their fields. A CW5 serves at the highest levels as a master technical advisor in their specialty, whether aviation, intelligence, maintenance, or another field. For instance, a CW5 in Army aviation might be the senior standardization pilot for an entire division, responsible for advising generals on air tactics and ensuring every pilot meets exacting standards. This rank matters because even the highest commanders rely on CW5 expertise. Their counsel can fine-tune critical missions or prevent technical failures. Without their input, the Army could stumble in highly specialized operations. Chief Warrant Officer 4. It is a senior-level warrant officer. By this point, a warrant officer often has over 20 years of service. CW4S often manage high-level maintenance, intelligence, or operational programs at brigade or division level. For example, a CW4 might oversee an entire brigade's maintenance program, coordinating repairs for hundreds of vehicles and weapons. This rank is important because CW4s ensure the Army's complex systems run smoothly. They see patterns and problems that others might miss. A skilled CW4 will prevent technical breakdowns from derailing operations, for instance, spotting a trend in equipment failures and fixing it proactively. Without their high-level oversight, critical issues could go unnoticed until a system fails in the middle of a mission. Chief Warrant Officer 3. It is an advanced technical expert rank. CW3S usually have well over a decade of experience. By this stage, a warrant officer has refined their skills and often takes on supervisory roles within their specialty. A CW3 might lead a battalion's communications team, managing the network and ensuring secure links on the battlefield. Or a CW3 in intelligence could head an analysis cell, guiding a team to produce actionable reports for commanders. At this rank, their decisions directly impact mission success within their technical field. When a CW3 performs well, their unit's specialized operations are seamless. If they falter, a critical capability, like communications or surveillance, could fail when it's needed most. Chief Warrant Officer 2. It is an intermediate warrant officer rank. Having proven themselves as WO1s, CW2s operate with more independence and are trusted with greater technical responsibilities. By this rank, they may have 6 to 8 years of total service. For example, a CW2 helicopter pilot may plan and execute a 2-aircraft night mission without a senior pilot guiding each step. A CW2 in an artillery unit might run the targeting computer, ensuring every fire mission is accurate. The Army relies on CW2s to carry out specialized missions reliably. When they perform well, they handle complex tasks, flying missions, fixing systems, analyzing intelligence, with minimal supervision. Warrant Officer 1. It is the entry rank for Army warrant officers, a newly minted technical expert, often prior enlisted. Many WO1s are former NCOs chosen for warrant training due to their technical expertise. A WO1 might be a fresh helicopter pilot or a network technician just beginning to apply their advanced training in a unit. This rank matters as the launch point for technical officership. The Army entrusts critical equipment and tasks to warrant officers, and WO1 is where that trust begins. A motivated WO1 will rapidly gain confidence and become the go-to problem solver for certain issues. If they struggle and cannot perform their duties yet, the unit must invest extra effort to train and supervise them until they grow into the expert the Army needs. Sergeant Major of the Army. It is the single highest-ranking enlisted soldier. There is only one SMA at a time, and he serves as the senior enlisted advisor to the Army Chief of Staff. The SMA communicates the needs and concerns of the enlisted force to the Army's top generals and helps shape Army policies from the perspective of the troops. For example, the SMA travels to bases worldwide, talking to soldiers from privates to sergeants major, and brings their feedback about training, equipment, and morale to the 4-star leadership. This rank matters because the SMA is the voice of the enlisted force at the highest level. If he advocates well, Army policies stay grounded in reality, and soldier morale remains strong. Command Sergeant Major. It is the senior enlisted leader at battalion or higher levels. They counsel the commander and are responsible for standards, discipline, and morale across the unit. Picture a brigade, CSM, visiting a remote outpost. He checks on soldiers' welfare, corrects any lapses in discipline, and reports real conditions to the colonel. A great CSM means disciplined troops and high morale throughout the ranks. Every battalion, brigade, and division has a command sergeant major to lead its enlisted soldiers. A poor one can lead to lapses in standards and a disconnected enlisted force. Sergeant Major. It is an E9 who often serves as a senior staff advisor rather than the top enlisted leader of a unit. This role is equal in rank to a CSM, but without the command-specific responsibilities. SGMS might work in headquarters, advising a staff officer on policy, operations, or logistics. Their decades of experience help shape plans that are practical for soldiers. This rank matters because SGMS ensure that high-level decisions make sense on the ground. A vigilant SGM will catch flawed plans or unrealistic schedules and fix them before they affect the troops. First Sergeant. He is the senior NCO of a company. Often called the heart of the company, the First Sergeant is the commander's key enlisted advisor and the enforcer of standards. On a daily basis, the 1SG runs company formations, issues instructions to platoon sergeants, and addresses soldier issues to keep the unit mission ready. In combat, soldiers look to the First Sergeant as much as to the captain for guidance and leadership. This rank is pivotal because it touches every soldier in the company. A good First Sergeant molds 100 individuals into a tight, disciplined team that can endure stress and accomplish the mission. Master Sergeant. This is an E8 who typically serves in staff or technical roles at the battalion or brigade level. They are often the NCO IC of sections, like operations, logistics, or administration. For instance, an MSG might coordinate a battalion's training calendar and ensure each company gets all the resources it needs. Master Sergeants are critical because they quietly make the Army run. They turn the commander's goals into actual schedules and processes. A competent MSG anticipates and resolves problems before they impact the troops. If they don't, small issues, scheduling errors, supply shortfalls, can grow into big setbacks for the unit. Sergeant First Class. This is an E7, usually serves as a platoon sergeant, and has roughly 12 to 15 years of experience. The SFC is the senior NCO for 30 to 40 soldiers and the advisor to a platoon leader. Often with 12 or more years of service, the SFC is expected to set the standard for all junior NCOs. In the field, the platoon sergeant makes sure every soldier is in the right place and that the unit's tactics are sound, often quietly correcting a new lieutenant's mistakes. This rank matters because it directly influences the platoon's performance and morale. A strong SFC will mold a collection of squads into an effective platoon, maintaining order even in chaos. Staff Sergeant. This is an E6 who typically commands a squad. The Staff Sergeant trains the squad, leads it in missions, and is the first line of NCO leadership for most soldiers. Staff Sergeants usually have 6 to 8 years in service and have proven themselves as reliable leaders. For example, an SSG squad leader in combat directs 2 fire teams. He might have one team lay down cover fire while he leads the other team to flank an enemy position. Day to day, the staff sergeant ensures his soldiers are prepared, weapons clean, equipment serviceable, and rehearsals done. This rank is crucial because staff sergeants shape soldiers at the ground level. When an SSG is competent, the squad performs reliably, whether digging defensive positions or clearing a building under fire. Sergeant. This is an E5 and the first NCO rank. Sergeants often lead a fire team of about 4 soldiers. They are directly responsible for the daily work and small unit tactics of their team. Most soldiers earn sergeant stripes after 3 to 5 years by demonstrating strong leadership potential. Imagine a sergeant and 3 soldiers on guard duty. It's the sergeant who ensures everyone stays alert, divides up the night watch, and enforces the rules of engagement. Sergeants matter because they supervise the bulk of the Army's personnel one team at a time. A diligent sergeant produces disciplined, squared-away soldiers who do things right even when no one is watching. Corporal. He is an E4 who, unlike a specialist, is recognized as a junior NCO and given leadership duties. Corporals are relatively uncommon today. Many soldiers remain specialists until they make sergeant. A corporal might lead a fire team or supervise a small crew for a specific task. This rank is often assigned to a specialist who shows leadership promise but cannot yet be promoted to sergeant. For example, a corporal combat engineer could be in charge of a 3-soldier team clearing a safe path through a minefield. This rank matters as a proving ground for leadership. A capable corporal steps up and effectively runs a team, easing the workload on sergeants. Specialist. He is an E4 who is not an NCO but has mastered their technical duties. Specialists make up a large portion of the Army and are the go-to doers in many units. Soldiers typically become specialists after about 2 years of service. A specialist might be a skilled radar operator, a medical technician, or a mechanic who knows a vehicle inside out. They focus on doing their job very well while taking orders from the NCOs. This rank is important because the competence of specialists directly affects mission support. When specialists excel, radios stay functional, engines hum, supplies arrive on time, the Army runs effectively. Private First Class. He is an E3, above the basic trainee ranks. PFCS have learned the fundamentals and can be trusted to perform routine tasks with some supervision. Most soldiers reach PFC after about a year of service. In an infantry squad, a PFC might be the radio operator or a grenadier, roles that require reliability but not independent leadership. A PFC's importance lies in being a dependable junior soldier. Good PFCS carry out orders smartly. They keep their equipment in shape, stay alert on guard, and help their teammates without needing constant direction. Private E2. He is 1 rank above the entry-level recruit. A Private E2 has a bit more experience, usually having finished initial training and about 6 months of service, but is still learning and under close supervision. They perform basic duties, carrying gear, standing guard, cleaning weapons, and practicing the skills taught by their leaders. The Army's expectations are simple at this stage. Listen closely, follow orders, and work hard. Even so, if a Private E2 fails to do those basics, the consequences can be serious and immediate. On the other hand, a motivated Private E2 who pays attention and learns becomes a solid contributor to the unit, setting the stage for further growth. Private Recruit. He is the lowest rank, a new recruit in initial training. They wear no insignia. At this stage, everything is about learning and adapting to military life. Basic training lasts about 10 weeks, transforming recruits into soldiers and teaching them everything from how to march and shoot to the Army's values of discipline and teamwork. A recruit's day is filled with instruction and correction by drill sergeants. This rank matters because it's the foundation of a soldier's career. If a private absorbs the training gains fitness, confidence, respect for authority, they become a building block of their unit. If they cannot adapt or learn, they may wash out.